Welcome back, listeners, to Inner Peace, Better Health. I'm your host, Sana, and today we are diving into a very fascinating topic: how the spaces we live in influence our inner peace and well being. Well, let me ask you a few questions, listeners. Have you ever walked into a room and instantly felt at ease? Or maybe the opposite, a space that felt chaotic and unsettling? Well, the connection between our environment and our mental state is more profound than we often realize. And yes, it is there. There is a connection. And to help me uncover these questions, joining me today is an expert in this field, Nan Krueger. Well, Nan is a passionate interior designer who believes that a well designed space doesn't just look good, it should feel good too. And her mission is to create homes that reflect her clients' true selves while promoting harmony and balance. So, in this episode of Inner Peace, Better Health, we'll be exploring how interior design can become a tool for cultivating inner calm, the science behind it, and how small design choices can really impact our emotions. So, with that, Nan, welcome to the show, and it's an absolute pleasure having you with us.
Thank you so much, Sana. It's great to be here.
Beautiful, beautiful. Nan, so of course, how do you exactly define this relationship between interior design and inner calm? Because normally, interior design as an industry and as kind of an ambition is basically just to help the house look good. But from perspective of a home and that getting a good feeling, positive feeling, how does exactly that connection work?
Right. It works by the intentional choosing of the items that we surround ourselves with. So, um, I would say that most of us, not everybody in the world, of course, but lots and lots of people do have the choice of what do they put in their homes? What do they decorate with? What do they um, use for furniture? What colors do they choose? So um, when those choices are made intentionally with a plan behind them and knowing what they want as the outcome, then it can have a very positive effect on our mental health.
Hmm. Makes sense. Makes sense
Yeah,
now.
so I would say that um, the intention of it has a lot to do with the situation.
Hmm. And would you say that a cluttered space can actually contribute to internal stress? Because you have worked with clients. So, have you seen this play out with them in any sense?
Yes, and I would say some of my clients are more cluttered than others. Um,
Mm-hmm.
but yes, so I've got an example. One client moved into his apartment and it was kind of chaotic. Yeah, he had a lot of things that were not put away. The spaces themselves that he moved into were were done by the previous owner. He had nothing to do with what was surrounding him in this apartment. And part of the clutter belonged to his ex-girlfriend.
Okay.
And seeing that was a constant reminder for him that he had lost that relationship. He wouldn't get along with her. It was fraught with emotion. I have no idea what the circumstances were, but um, having things that belong to someone who's
Mm-hmm.
in your life, it takes a constant toll on your mental health because he was like constantly seeing, okay, so this sofa belongs to her, and I would like to not see it all the time and see something that I want. So, for him, seeing another person's belongings all the time was very draining.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's That very clearly explains this connection. Also, Nan, color psychology, it does play a huge role. For example, I find light colors uh, or maybe nude colors very calming and the kind of the best ones for me, whether it's any object or clothes or anything. So, what are some of the key design elements that you advise that can help foster a sense of peace in home?
Well, you said color right away, so that is definitely a major element, a design element that I use. And psychology, of course, color brings up emotions for us. It 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 has associations for us with past experiences or past emotions, um, and color is a huge factor. So, like you said, you understand for yourself that lighter colors, muted colors help
Mhm.
you to feel calm and happy in your space. Um, Sometimes people don't know what colors help them feel calm or happy, so I lead them to the colors that spark that for them. Um, so color is one thing, and the arrangement of the space
Mhm.
is an element. So the shapes of the things in the room, the shape of the furniture arrangement, and how the room is laid out. Um, it also definitely affects how people use the space. And so the arrangement and the color are two huge elements that I work with to help people feel more settled in their space.
Hmm. Wow. Wow. So, personally asking you, Nan, what colors do you like to have in your interiors, and um, because I think we can definitely relate, kind of have that connection between the colors and the personality of a person. So, what kind of colors you like, if you don't mind?
No, I don't mind. Um, Personally, I love color. Like, um, our living room is a sort of a medium warm green. Our
Okay.
dining room is yellow. Our kitchen is a lighter yellow with white and green. Um, Green for me is very soothing.
Mm-hmm.
So actually, there's green in this room, which is my office, my studio, and our front porch is the same pale green. I just find it very welcoming, and also the the direct connection to nature for me and my family um, is very uplifting for us, and green brings that in directly because so much of nature is green. um, and then in general, I just like rainbow colors. I just like all of the colors together. Like in this chair that my
Yeah.
mom
Yeah.
recovered in the 80s. There there's a rainbow of colors in this chair. If you're not looking at it. And it just makes me happy. So well, the walls are not bright like this, but the things that are in our spaces
Mm-hmm.
uh, definitely have color. Yes, color makes me happy, so I surround myself.
Yeah, I mean, it kind of, creates that contrast as well, and it balances. If you have walls light color, but, kind of the chairs or the sofas or the furniture a bit dark, then I can create that balance of dark and light colors. Ah,
That's right.
that's really good. And it's we of course when we go to restaurants or cafes, we definitely see the interiors, and then that kind of adds up to the ambience, that's what we call. So if we consider ambience of a restaurant as an important factor, why not consider the same for our home, our kitchen, our bedrooms, or dining rooms?
Absolutely. That is part of one huge part of my whole point, right?
Mm.
Like we spend, I think, like over 90% of our time indoors in interior spaces, in built environments, right?
Yeah.
Most of us spend our time inside. And that over time has a huge impact. If you're always going to every day an office that is gray or dull or for me the absence of color, that would really depress me over time, and probably over a short period of time. um,
Yeah.
you know so I can't remember what your question was now, but I was on a tangent of um knowing that what you surround yourself with, you're
Hmm.
seeing it. Even though you're not conscious of it, you're
Hmm.
seeing it still going into your brain through your eyeballs, and it's
Yeah.
it's having an impact.
True. True. Um, Also, yeah, that is there. But for someone who may not have the budget for a full redesign, what are some simple, affordable DIY changes, probably, which they can make to create a more calming space?
Yes, some um, more affordable DIY changes are one of them is change out your pictures. Maybe you look online and you find a poster that you absolutely love, and you order that poster. There are cheap frames available at craft shops and such. So those can be easily had for, I don't know, I'm going to guess like under $100. And if you put a new poster up on your wall, that can really change your outlook and make you feel fresh and improve your mindset. Um, Another affordable way is to paint the walls. So a couple cans of paint, less than $200, I'm going to guess. Supplies, people usually have a paintbrush or a roller hanging around the house. So painting your walls can happen in one weekend. And, um, it's a lot more effort. You have to move everything in and cover and such,
Mhm.
but it
Mhm.
is less expensive way to change your environment that has quite a big impact, changing the color of your walls. A third way is to swap out your accessories. So, if you have throw pillows or throw blankets, um, go to Home Goods and get some new ones in different colors. Those are really not very expensive at all. Probably less than $50. You could buy a couple of pillows and a new throw blanket, and that just spiffs up your space really easily.
That's useful. Some very useful tips. Um, and also, Nan, how does sustainability in design impact not just the planet but also our personal well-being? I think that's a very important aspect to address too.
Yes, I believe so. Um, a lot of home products
Mm-hmm.
not the healthiest for us. And where I find that the most is in rugs and building materials.
Mm-hmm.
So, like pressed board, particle board, that has a lot of formaldehyde in it, in the glues that are necessary to produce that material. And formaldehyde can release toxins into the air. And so we're breathing those things in. Same with a rug that's made of petroleum based products. That
Mm-hmm.
gas, we call it off gassing, um, the fumes from the petroleum-based products that the thing is made from. So it's really great to be able to choose more natural products. So I always recommend to my clients to go for a wool rug if their budget can afford that. It's expensive and it's also really healthy because it's a natural fiber and it does not have the off-gassing or the petrochemicals in it. Um, and and a wool rug lasts the longest out of all the materials. So when you can afford a wool rug, that's the best you can do. Um,
Mm-hmm.
there are other materials. A cotton rug is less expensive. So that's another really good option if your budget doesn't allow for wool. Um, one difference, though, is that the cotton rug, while it is a natural material and healthy for us, it's a flat weave. So it's not going to be cushy like a nice soft wool rug. Um, but sometimes a flat weave rug is totally appropriate, like in a dining room where you would want the chairs to be able to move over the surface a little easier, as opposed to a really thick pile rug where it's harder to shift the furniture on it. So wool and cotton rugs for me are fantastic choices for natural products. Um, there are also paints that are produced now with much lower um, volatile organic compounds, VOCs. And I think a lot of paint companies do have lines like that, which are healthier for our indoor air quality while the paint is drying. And other companies like West Elm, I think, Crate and Barrel. I believe that they've got lines of furniture within their offerings that are more sustainable than other pieces. So if you're if you're looking for furniture,
Mm-hmm.
um, sustainable pieces of furniture do exist on the market, and it's just a matter of doing a deeper dive. Um, like go to westelm.com sort of thing and search in there for sustainable or whatever company you're interested in. Because quite often they won't advertise it, like they won't show you, oh yes, we have these lines, but investigate and see if they do.
Hmm. Oh, insider's tips. And I absolutely liked you mentioned about cotton and wool rugs. I think definitely, these are some important and very, I think, useful and as well as sustainable tips to think about. Uh, in fact, not just for the planet and for the personal well-being as well. And how do you think the future is going to be? Of course, people are now gradually becoming more aware about how materials and air quality inside their homes it can affect their health. So, what kind of future do you see in this connection between interior design and mental or inner peace and health as well?
Um, I am I am seeing more and more people are um, getting back into. I'm going to say back into because I remember in the 70s, um,
Mm-hmm.
houseplants were a huge trend in interior
Mm-hmm.
design, and houseplants are back and better than ever. And they definitely help with indoor air quality, and they also give us a sense of nature inside. So we can look at a plant. I've got three plants here in my studio, and they connect me to nature. When I glance at them, oh yes, I see the green leaves, and I feel happy, and I feel like yes, there's another. Um, this might sound weird, but there's another living creature in here with me, who needs light and water, feeding, and it's very they're like companions. um,
Mhm.
and they connect us to nature while we're spending 95% of our time inside. Um,
Uh-huh.
Plants are the things that kind of help us break out of our walls.
Yeah.
So I think I think using plants in design is going to get even more and more popular. And I also think that that connection between the natural materials and our mental health will also become more and more like heard about or common because who wants to live with things that are made of petroleum products and fake plastic and all of that. I think most people prefer to live with things that are more natural and that
Mm.
with to us as human beings who live in the natural world. So and just the state of the earth, people are more and more um I think conscious and aware of how we are affecting it, and that the things that we choose in our homes can also, that can be a positive effect and it can be a negative effect. So let's choose things that have a positive effect. Let's choose the sofa that was sustainably made. Let's choose the plants. Let's choose the paint that is not so full of chemicals. Um, so I think that is going to be more and more common. And I also think and I hope that consumers will become more and more discerning of those things when they make their choices for what are they bringing into their homes. So I hope that discernment um, keeps going, and 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 I think that's going to be the future of design.
Of course. Lovely, lovely, Nan. So, if our listeners who wish to connect with you and explore more about this, how they can do that.
I'm sorry, I didn't understand your question. I'm sorry.
Yeah. So, if our listeners would wish to connect with you, how they can do that.
Oh, sorry. Yes, they can, they can read my website, and that is mygroovyhome.com.
Mhm.
The name of my business is Groovy Home, and in the website, there's really all that you need to know that you would might want to find out about me. Um, there's also a quiz that you can take. I have a color quiz that will um, give you a palette of, I think it's 5 or 6 colors at the end of the quiz that you can use for your room. If you're having a lot of trouble narrowing colors down for yourself, if you want to make new choices, the quiz is great for helping you to see, oh, yeah, maybe these three as opposed to these 3,000 to choose from. So the color quiz is helpful for people. And I've also got a blog where I've written, I don't even know how many articles, but like 2 or 3 pages of things, all different topics of design. So that's another way that people can read what I'm thinking about design, and all of that is free.
Lovely. You'll have all the details in the show notes. And man, thank you so much for this delightful conversation and for showing us that our spaces are more than just the four walls we live in. I think they truly shape our emotions and well being. So thank you so much.
I love that, Sana. Thank you so much for having me. It was wonderful.
So, to all of our listeners, if you enjoyed this episode, don't forget to check out Nan's website, My Groovy Home. And also, we have all the details in the show notes. And also, just take a look around your space today. What small changes can you make to create more calm and harmony? Until next time, take care and cultivate inner peace. Thank you.